Let's bring in former commander of U.S. Central Command, retired four-star General Joseph Votel. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on Prime. Secretary Hegseth said today that the U.S. mission in Iran is very much on track. Do you agree with that statement, or is it too early to tell?
Well, I think, first of all, it's great to be with you, Stephanie. I think when you look at this from a military standpoint, I think we can see what CENTCOM and its forces are doing is they're essentially executing an operation plan that's been developed over a long period of time. And I think, being somewhat familiar with that from my previous experience there, rolling this out over several weeks here, as we've seen, I think is exactly what the plan called for. And they've been very, very successful in accomplishing some of the military tasks. It doesn't mean that everything's done. Certainly, Iran is fighting back, and we're going to have to deal with that. But I think I think CENTCOM, from a military standpoint, has done a good job in moving forward towards the military objectives.
And sir, we know Israel has launched many strikes in Iran. What do you make of Israel striking Iran's largest gas field yesterday?
Well, I don't have much detail behind all of that. Of course, I'm not involved in the discussions of this, but certainly I think from Israel's standpoint, they view this as existential to them, and they are very keen to, put as much pressure as possible on the regime.
And sir, let's talk about the cost of this conflict. The Pentagon is seeking $200 billion for this conflict. We're 3 weeks into this war. How significant is this dollar amount, and what does it tell you about where we are in this conflict?
Well, certainly $200 billion is a lot of money. It's a serious amount of investment in this, but certainly this is really, I think, designed to do two things. One is to support the ongoing operations, which are, right now being funded out of the normal dollars that our services get. But it's also designed to help replenish our munitions and help preserve, future readiness for the forces as they recover from this operation. So I think the amount of money that's being asked for serves a couple of different purposes.
When it comes to deployments, President Trump suggested he was not looking at deploying more soldiers to the Middle East, but added that the U.S. will do whatever is necessary. With your extensive operational experience across the Middle East, could sending more troops really be avoided?
Well, I think the president is preserving all options, and I think he wants to make sure that his commanders in the field, in this case, Admiral Cooper, the CENTCOM commander, has all the tools and resources that he needs. So he's trying not to take anything off the table. But giving our commanders on the ground the most flexibility, I think, is what we're trying to do right now. So, for example, the movement of the Marine Expeditionary Unit into the area, I think, is designed to give our commander their additional flexibility, additional agility if he needs it in the pursuit of the forthcoming missions that we will have, principally among those reopening the Straits of Hormuz. So I think this is largely about making sure we have the capabilities in place and we give our commanders the flexibility that they need.
And operationally, a lot has happened the last couple of weeks. Many lives have been lost. What are you watching out for next when it comes to this conflict?
I think I'm paying most attention to how Iran is responding to this. I think their strategy has been to broaden the conflict and to try to extend it in time. And certainly, I think for them, this is existential. They are trying to keep the regime in power. It's about survival. So how they respond to this, I think, will dictate the direction that the campaign goes moving forward.
Retired General Joseph Votel. Sir, thank you very much for your time and insights. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you.